We're all in the same boat. Over the past few months, you may have heard that phrase more than once. Hey, you may have even said it yourself. Well, the reality is we're all in the same storm, or storms as of late. But our individual situations may not be the same at all. Some of us may be more or less prepared for times like these. Hello, I'm Altair Gobo, one of the founding partners of US Financial Services. In the past 4 decades, my goal has been to listen to our clients' concerns, speak in a language they all understand, and demystify the financial planning process. I think many of you will agree that going forward, hindsight is 2020 will have an even more important meaning. Over the years, I've come to realize how great a role behavioral finance plays in developing your financial plan. And today I'd like to discuss some of the basic elements of that process. Now, I know what you're thinking. We know the basics. Have an emergency fund, create a budget, have clearly defined goals, time horizon, risk tolerance, blah, blah, blah. True. But when is the last time you did a review to make sure your plan is still in sync with your current situation? So let's start with emergency fund. In many cases, having liquid assets available to provide 3 to 6 months living expense would seem sufficient. However, depending on your appetite for risk, and certainly in light of recent developments, you may want to adjust that amount reserved for emergencies to 6, 9, or maybe even 12 months. Now, this means you would have enough liquidity without selling anything to provide you with enough funds, enough income, without worrying about market conditions. By the way, I haven't heard of any studies that show that worrying adds to your life expectancy. Next, revisit your budget. This has different connotations to different people. After all, I've never met anyone that likes being on a diet. Well, a budget is kind of like a financial diet. So let's replace budget with cash flow analysis. Sounds better? But simply put, it's looking at your revenue, money coming in, and expenses, money going out, and determining if there's anything left over. The money coming in part is relatively easy. Your salary, investment income, interest, dividends, retirement income. In other words, all sources of income. The money going out part, expenses, may be a little trickier. We all know our major expenses: mortgage, car payment, rent, insurance, things like that. But what about all of your other expenses, including dining out, dry cleaner, hairdresser, all of the things that add up? So we give our clients an expense worksheet that lists everything you could possibly spend money on, including that all-inclusive category called miscellaneous. And once you've taken the inflows minus the outflows, you can determine any shortfalls or discretionary funds that are available and develop a plan of action. Many people haven't done this simple exercise, and sometimes they'll say things like, I don't know where the money goes. Well, now's the time to look. Time horizon, risk tolerance. Very often they go together. This is a great time to determine the time horizon for each of your investments, short, mid, and long term. Revisiting your time horizon is critical since you may have set up your portfolios years ago when you were younger and retirement seemed like such a long way off. Your willingness to take risk may have changed as well. I sometimes hear people say, looking for something that's guaranteed, high rate of return, current income, and tax-free. Well, that's pretty ambitious, and although it doesn't exist in one investment, it could probably be achieved in a portfolio. Now, although you need to be realistic when it comes time to portfolio design, it is imperative that you understand the risks involved, the probability of those risks occurring, and willingness to accept those risks. Now, finally, goals versus market performance. Some of you may remember a long time ago where you received information on the 6 o'clock news or in the morning paper. And some might be saying, what's the 6 o'clock news in the morning paper? Today we receive information minute by minute. Our access to information is almost unlimited. But what do we do with the information we receive? When it comes time to our investments, we can look at performance as many times as we want in a single day. In most cases, that information is overkill. After all, how often does the intraday price fluctuations really affect your life, even on the most volatile of days? Although we still believe in reporting monthly, quarterly, and annual performance, we are much more focused on achieving your financial goals. All of our financial plans have projections that go out 5, 10, 20 years and more. So if our projections with an assumed rate of return, inflation rate, income and expenses indicate a value of X in year 20, reviewing that information becomes much more relevant than whether your portfolio is up or down 5% in a given time period. So for example, during a recent review, we examined the client's net worth in 10 years. The projected number was about $8.6 million, while the actual was $8.1 million. And this was after the recent year-to-date market volatility. So although the news painted the doom and gloom of the market being down X% year-to-date, the reality to the client was that they were now projected to have $8.1 million in 10 years while continuing to live and enjoy their current lifestyle and meet all of their goals. The look of relief was priceless. So please, take some time and review your current plan. Start with these basic concepts. Get organized, demystify the process, and live life today. Be confident about tomorrow. Thank you. Please be well and stay safe.